What's up guys, my name's Days here, and today I'm talking to you guys about deck building. Now, everyone knows what deck building is. You build a deck. Whether it's good or bad, you build it. You have an idea, try to formulate that idea for the win condition you formed, or just maybe a combo play you thought of, and you build it. Deck building. Now today I'm talking about why deck building is becoming a lot less relevant in competitive play, and has been for the last couple of years now. And to do this we're going to need to take a look at history through our past experiences. So let's kind of rewind the competitive scene a bit. So back at the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh, we didn't have like archetypes. It was, here's a bunch of cards, what works the best, you know? It was more of a strategy game because you had to form it between cards, find the connections, instead of blatantly pointing it out like, this is an evil swarm and this is an evil swarm. They must go good together. It was, here's a Celtic Guardian and here's a Blue Eyes. Does this work together? Ooh, figure it out. Deck building. And we saw, we saw GOAT format, we saw Teledad format, we saw a lot of formats that were just based upon decks that we created as the player base. They weren't given to us. We took a bunch of cards like Teledad. We got the amazing card of Dark Arm Dragon, and we combined it with a Psychic type decks. Krebins, Emergency Teleport, etc. Smash them all together. What we got? Teledad. Goat Control. We took the Ritual Monster of Relinquished, which no one really thought was like amazing. We took the Scapegoat. We took tons of cards in between, from DD Warrior Lady to D-Mock. And guess what? It worked. We formulate the strategy through deck building. The Light Sworns come out, which I would argue is the first competitive archetype, This is the first, we've had like the Scorpion Gang and Elemental Heroes being not really good at all. This is the first archetype we see take competitive shape, we take competitive form. We're like, alright, these are obviously supposed to be meant to play together. They do play together well, and guess what? They win. We then see that they go on for Gladiator Beasts, Blackwings, X-Sabers, and Verities. We just see a big trend of it. It just happens. It just explodes. Archetypes. And when you get the archetypes, it becomes a matter of, well, these cards are good. Here are cards that are also good, or need to be played with them because they're part of the archetype, and the archetype needs more of the archetype to run. Let's use Infinities, for example. Now, Infinity Barrier is basically a Solemn Judgment. And if you go with Barrier, you gotta play Infinities. So, obviously, most of your monsters are going to be Infinity monsters. So, we got 3 barriers in. What switches up Barrier? Archfiend. Archfiend switches up Barrier. 3 Archfiends. 6 cards. Easy. Oh, God. But it needs to be special summoned. We can't always get its effect. There's that card that specials it from the graveyard. Oh, yeah, Necromancer. 3 Necromancers. Easy. It can search Break. Rush up 3 breaks in there. It's a 1-for-1. Like, you see the pile up, like same thing with Blackwings, Oh, I'm basically an honest this deck of 3 Kalutes. Put all 3 in there. Black Whirlwind searches out Kalutes and other stuff. Let's put 3 of them in there. Gale can cut down a Stardust. Put 3 of them in there. It gets to that point. And then we get that soft break of, we see Plantinker coming to age. It's like, oh my god, the players, the player base made this new deck. It's incredible. Fuck you, Konami. We're playing what we want now. We're deck building again. We're being creative. And then, we move into the next generation. And luckily the next generation, luckily based on your opinion, comes Dino Rabbit. And, again, we could say it's a deck made by the players. You gotta kind of think that Konami knew what they were doing when they were making these cards. But in essence, it's a deck that's not an archetype, so it was made by the players. And, during that, we see the deck of the players, the Dino Rabbit, versing off against the decks of Konami, the Insectors, the Heretics, the Windups, the Chaos Dragons, so on and so forth. And getting the Chaos Dragons, we also look at them not just pushing in power of the archetypes to make it to where, well, why would I not play an archetype? Why would I try to make my own deck, We see that they're also making them more accessible. We saw with Agents being the first one to do this, where half of the deck was pre-built in a structure deck, easily distributed and picked up by all players. It's basically the extra side and a few cards here and there in the main deck that you need to go out and get outside of the structure deck. And same with Chaos Dragons, really, too. So you're looking at that, and not only are they showing you the direction you already need to take by making these pre-made decks that aren't on the competitive level, but put you on the path or to making that competitive level deck. There's no, like, love for anything else, you know? I mean, when's the last time you saw Konami release a pack that was basically good cards for deck building? The deck builder's toolkit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Etc., etc. Where's a pack like that? No, it's Structured X blank this archetype. Structured X blank that archetype. Special edition blank this set, which is special for this. Because it comes with these archetypes. You know, you're getting my drift, right? And when the ban list comes, you know Konami is going to hit that shit hard. Our decks, not as hard as their decks. You look at Plant Synchro, they overkilled that ban list like a motherfucker. You look at that shit and it's still impressive what's on there today. TG Striker just got back to 3. And that was because of Plant Synchro, Agent, TG, like those decks we made. That's the only reason it ever went to 1 in the first place. And sadly we're just seeing this thing die out. You know, it'd be nice if there was some kind of format we could create so that people could deck build again. You know, show that real pure essence of deck building. So what I'm getting in this video is deck building is becoming, unfortunately, a worn out tool. The competitive player of today is not what the competitive player of yesterday used to be. They don't have to build their own decks because Konami puts them on the path. The good thing is, us as deck builders, I include myself, because I love deck building just for fun, even if they're just trying to be shit decks. Thanks to DM, we can do that now. But we can have inner knowledge our players don't have. Because we've experienced so many cards that we played through from all of our deck building, we know great game mechanics, interactions between cards other players might not know, they give us a leg up. We have that insight and that fortitude and knowledge in our head. So what do you guys think about deck building in general? Do you guys like deck building? Do you guys not like deck building? Do you wish Konami would step off a bit with the archetypes, make them not as overpowered, and allow us to, you know, make some more of our decks that can be on level with their decks? And what do you think about deck building as a tool? Do you think people should still deck build to learn and to practice and to get a better knowledge of the game? Or do you think, you know, it's just useless in general? Let us know in the comment section below. And, you know, there's a lot more I can go on with this game about deck building. And I might make a part 2 to this video. So, again, if you want to, you know, hear more, if you want to hear, like, a history on it, which I'm considering doing, you know, leave a like about it. And I'll definitely do it if you guys really want it. Also, if you've seen this on MCO40's channel, thank you, Robbie, for the guest upload again. Love you. And make sure to come on my channel youtube.com/teammates4days. Because remember, if you want to be good at the game, you gotta have answers for days. Later, guys. Deck building.